Well, to my North Park community, this is the annual report update from your executive lead pastor. My name is Matthew Eckert, and good to connect with you in this way. As I reflect back on 2020, I want to just come with a reflection of gratitude and thankfulness. Yes, I'm sure everybody's talking about the interestingness of the last year, but for me, as I reflected on, I'm grateful for you, for our North Park community. First of all, I want to thank you for your financial generosity. And there's a financial report that you can look at and you can go over in the details, but you continue to give. You know, back in March and April when this whole thing was beginning, we did not know where things would land, how our community would do. And we started taking measures to make sure we're ready for whatever might come. But you as a community continue to be generous. I recall in June, when our giving still was down, we decided to still donate $40,000 to 5 different organizations in the City of London to continue to support and do the work, trusting that you would continue to be generous. And by the end of the year, by the end of December, you proved that we're still together in this and you were generous financially, so thank you for that. But beyond that, you've been generous in giving items so that we could come alongside about 6 different organizations in the city. Week after week, we put appeals out. Would you bring baked goods? Would you bring grab-and-go snacks? Would you bring water bottles? And on it went. And every single week, you showed up. And you dropped these items off. It's not the best way to serve. Many of you wanted to do so much more, but you did. And the items we were able to bring to these organizations, and they say thank you. And so on behalf of them, I say thank you for continuing to be generous in that way. I'm grateful for the staff. The staff team leaned in. The staff team continued to be creative in how they did things. They had to pivot and learn and to try things and step back and take feedback, but they kept leaning in. They kept learning and growing. And boy, the things that are going to still come out in 2021 from what they learned in 2020 are beautiful. So the staff, thank you for them. And as you know them, would you please continue to send them notes of encouragement for the work that they are doing. But then I'm thankful for the elders and how the elder board just leaned in. You know, when this first started, we just said, let's meet every single week just to pray and reflect and just to keep up to date. And they did. They chose to give up their time. When they used to meet every single month, they met weekly for a season. And I'm thankful for them and their commitment to the church and how they provided ongoing stability and guidance to what we did. And then I'm thankful for so many of you just kept gathering together as small groups, as communities, as triads, as quads, as small groups, and you just kept caring for each other. You learned how to use Zoom. We have groups that have people in their 70s and 80s that dominate the group, and they continue to meet. They learned the technology. And so many of you just kept meeting. This is what we do as followers of Jesus. We gather together, we encourage each other and pray for each other, and you did that. And then many of you decided, I need this. And you called us and we were able to connect you into groups. And so grateful for that. And then many of you just made sure that each other was okay. And you made phone calls and you dropped items off and you dropped off food and you just cared for each other. And then you reached out, many of you, to your neighbors. And we heard so many stories of neighbors being cared for by North Parkers. So thank you for leaning into these things. And those of us in our community, those in the healthcare profession, we applaud you. You did us proud. You represented Jesus in just small and beautiful and amazing ways. And then those among us who are teachers and professors, you learned great things, and we've heard super stories of how you have just been the love and the hands and feet of Jesus in your context. So thank you for what you did, and so many others I could mention. And so as the executive lead pastor, reflect on 2020, despite all the hardships that were taken, I know many of you as families have to work many things through, I see our community as becoming stronger as you learned and you reflected and you continued to decide to follow Christ in as practical ways as you can. And so that's simply my update for this annual report video. Thankful for you all and blessings for the coming year.